Get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Hey, let me just say this, man, because I don't do it often. The girls are on their way here, about 9 minutes away. So while I'm promoting, I got to shout out Omar, NY. Can you pull up their website? Omar, NY. This is the brother that keeps me laced in all the flyest gear. Understand how I bonded with this brother and his brand. He's an artist, right? The brother been to Egypt. The brother goes into the temple of what's the biggest temple? I done forgot so much. Oh, that's Carrie Hilson, just looking like an Egyptian snack. You don't bring your hummus and olives and pita bread body over here, girl. Anyway, that's Mediterranean, I'm sorry. But yes, the brother was in the Great Pyramid of Egypt. And he studies the hieroglyphs. He reads the hieroglyphs. He writes the hieroglyphs. He draws the hieroglyphs. He is a bona fide artist. I think when he was 16, yeah, that's what I thought. I think when he was 16 is when he, hold on guys. When he was 16, he got his first commission, his first art commission. Testing, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You understand? He got his first art commission. And it was commissioned by Russell Simmons, right? The brother is an amazing artist. An amazing artist. And when I say he's an amazing artist, I mean this brother is at another level when it comes to art. Now, what's beautiful about the young man, he went into the Great Pyramid and wrote down and transcribed the hieroglyphs and took it to the same clothing manufacturers that create all the Louis Vuitton and all the other stuff, right? All the high-end gear. He went to the same manufacturers. Yes, come on in here, brother. You're fine. Just come on in here. I'm going to keep talking. He went to the same manufacturers as those guys and had them design this cultural piece. This is 5,000-year-old pyramid text, right? 5,000-year-old pyramid text that this brother created and put on the garments. Prayers, they're prayers, the same prayers that protect us on this side, brother. The same prayers that protect the Pharaoh. He created it, put it in a sweatsuit to protect the modern day pharaohs that walk the land. Do you understand? Now, what's the difference between what this brother is doing and what George Lucas did with Star Wars? If you take Star Wars, what is Star Wars? Star Wars is ancient spiritual knowledge retold, repackaged, reappropriated. The Force, the light and the dark side of the Force, the Jedi and the Sith. There is, if you could pull this up, Sarah, when George Lucas and Joseph Campbell sat down and did a documentary called The Power of Myth. You understand? Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell, you can get this DVD. Joseph Campbell is a historian and an anthropologist that taught at the collegiate level. He was a major academician. And that guy inspired George Lucas to create the Star Wars story based off of ancient knowledge. So all of the Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, you hear Yoda speaking, and Yoda sounds like the Buddha. Do you understand? This brother just retold another powerful story, the ancient Egyptian story. He just retold the story. You understand? And he told it through the medium of fashion. Omar NY. This is what I'm wearing right now. I got about 10, 15, 20 hoodies, but they all are inscribed with some type of prayer. Some type of power is locked into this, man. So I have to shout this brother out because he's trying to do his best. He is an artist learning how to be a businessman, and he has gotten a little bit better over the years, but he still has a little work to do, and he's still working. So I want to shout him out because I don't always shout him out. I'll be draped in the gear. Come on in and sit down, girl. I'll be draped in the gear, but I don't always shout him out. Omar NY. All right? Y'all check him out. The brother is dope. Also, you got to get the relationship dismount, how to stick the landing when exiting a toxic relationship. Can we have an explosion of sales to end the year? We need it. I need it. I need a bunch of sales from Amazon.com to make a little coin because I have to split the proceeds with them 50-50. They are responsible for mailing out paperbacks. They are responsible for the audio book, right? ACX is a company owned by Amazon.com, I think. Audible. Hey, baby, you look great. How you doing?
I missed you.
All right, I miss you too. I saw you on 5150.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
with
nice.
the fellas.
So I need everybody to go to Amazon.com, get an Audible version, get a Kindle version, and get a paperback version before the end of the year. Let's see a sales boost of the relationship dismount, how to stick the landing when exiting a toxic relationship. I broke down the whole impetus for the creation of this book earlier today on the So What show. So if you want to go back and see what the inspiration was surrounding the relationship dismount, listen to the So What show, or the last So What show of 2019 of this decade. Go listen to that. The show is up now on YouTube. Also, go get the holographic relationship. The follow-up. Now, the paperback is available. Amazon.com has Kindle up. You can get a Kindle version of this on Amazon.com. But if you want a paperback version, I have, and this is where I make the most money, selling the paperback. I have 400, a little bit over 400 copies, or somewhere around that, a little bit over or under 400 copies, somewhere in there. 400 is the number. I need everybody to go cash my website right now if you want the paperback. If you order it today, I'll be packaging and shipping it out tomorrow. All right? So go to iamzowilliams.com and get your copy of The Holographic Relationship. Total Package Energy. I've been talking about Total Package Energy all year long.
Yes,
and I've told everybody, great energy drink. Don't take it after 6 p.m. or you'll be up all night. Right? Take it early. If you take that shit at 5 in the morning, you'll get through your whole day on fire, sharp, and ready to crash later on at night. But if you take it 3 p.m., 6 p.m.,
it's a wrap.
you up. You might as well write a book. Don't go to sleep. You in the dig? So that's Total Package Energy. Please continue to support them. And from now up until the end of the year, the 31st, tomorrow, all orders of Total Package Energy will have extra bottles in it. That's what the guy told me. He said all orders, he will put extra bottles in. Also, the hurricane report. I want you guys to support this brand. I love this brand. I get a lot of my stories from the Hurricane Report. It is a journalistic endeavor, the Hurricane Report. Write it, take action, maintain freedom. Go look at the stories, go look at the information. I love the way they set up this website because it provides a lot of information, and also buy their gear.
Oh, they got dope gear.
The gear helps fund the business.
Okay, cool.
So socks, mugs, hoodies, leggings, they got all kind of stuff, right? The Hurricane Report. Put it back up there so people can see the website.
Well, them leggings is cool.
Right? The website, the Instagram, and the Twitter. Again, the website is h-report.news. Instagram is h_report. That's h_REEEPOORT. Twitter is at the H Report with the number 2. Please, please, please support these businesses.
Right.
The final thing I'm going to say, I need everybody on YouTube to go to iStar and join my iStar.
Ah, yes.
I need everybody to join iStar. We got to get it cracking. We are just under 500 subscribers.
Okay.
We started today with about 390.
I'll pump it on mine too.
We need everybody that's on here to go to iStar. Go to iStar.com or iStarVids. Vids is spelled with a Z, V-I-D-Z. iStarVids.com. Download it or get the app, iStar app. Once you download it, go to What iStar and subscribe. Please subscribe. I see people in the chat room right now talking about they've joined. That's Colbert Robinson. If you've joined, y'all give me the fist pump. When you say the chat room, yes, I'm on YouTube broadcasting live right now. Let me know that you've joined iStar. And if you haven't joined iStar, get to iStar right now. Let's get to 500 or more subscriptions by tonight. Let's do that by tonight. Right. Can I get the fist pump if you've joined? Let me know right now. Now that I have covered the promo side, Mimi will be here in a second.
Okay.
Now that I've covered the promo side, can you put up a picture of the aunties? I am very proud of the aunties. Take us off the screen. Look at that. The aunties. And they act just like sisters.
Yes, we do.
They bicker. They love each other. They kiss and make up.
Yes, we do.
They ride with each other. They bicker some more. Look at Mimi looking like, ooh, and you's a pretty girl too.
Well, thank you.
Jesus Christ. What if, I'm about to say something terrible. Fuck it. Let's say it. What if this was the olden days? Ancient times. Your uncle died.
Oh, okay. Oh, I know where this is going.
Somebody got to marry the auntie.
Somebody got to take the aunties in the family.
Yeah, that's how they
Come
do
on,
it.
Auntie Cheryl and Shaniqua. I'm finna do what Uncle Jeffro was gonna do. Uncle Jeffro would pump both y'all with babies to keep that line strong. I'm gonna take both my aunties and skeet off. Keep this line strong. You know, they say, oh, them genes are strong. That's right, because we cousins. I'm her nephew husband.
We double cousins.
Oh, my God.
I'm her nephew husband.
A nephew husband? Oh, Lord.
Uncle Jeffro dead. I had to take over the household.
Come on, auntie. I got some.
Oh, man, they're beautiful, man. They are beautiful, man.
Well,
I
thank
love
you.
the fact that you guys took the idea. She had some weird-ass idea. I want to do a conspiracy
I'm
show.
still going to do a conspiracy show.
I want to do some more
But I like the
Ironside.
aunties.
I want to do some Nancy Drew type shit. I was like, no. Baby girl. But
I'm glad you did put me with Mimi, though.
yes. And so what's beautiful about, and here come Mimi. Bring your, look at
Sister
Mimi.
Soldier up
Hey,
in the
Sister
house.
Soldier. Power to the people, little cutie pie. How you doing? So again, they are on the channel that I launched on Dash Radio. Dash Radio gave me my own channel called VOR Radio, Voice of Reason Radio. And I seek to build this platform into a conscious platform. So the concept that I had around the aunties was quite simple. Everybody has an aunt. And sometimes when the mama of a situation ain't tight, sometimes it's the auntie that steps in the mother role, in the mentor role, right? In the, okay, don't worry about it, your mama tripping, I got you role.
Right.
Right.
And what I saw in Peaches and Mimi, they both got that auntie quality. You understand? They both have that no, let me pull you to the side and holler at you and put you up on game and help you with this situation so you can kind of avoid some of the stuff I've been through. That's the energy that I picked up from Peaches and Mimi. And again, they be fighting each other like cats. Cats and dogs. They be like, we gonna do it this way. No, you gotta include me. And they be on it. I love it though. I love it. I have nothing but the utmost respect for them. So I gave them a show because I believe there are a lot of young women out here, especially in the thought magic era. Thought magic is, I could be a thought, I could be a passive-aggressive prostitute because society says it's okay, right? And at the end of the day, you do need a sister who been through some things, who tried that way before, because a lot of what we talk about on this show is starting to get revealed. You saw T.I. and his wife talked about Tiny. She talked about marriage. And she said, my grandmother told me not to marry for love, but to marry for security. That is a form of passive-aggressive prostitution. That is a form of transactional relationships, and that's what we were raised in. But guess what? It's a lot of women who tried it that way and felt objectified, and felt used, and felt discarded by men who have means. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because one thing about beauty is like a top-level athlete.
Right.
Father Time to a top-level athlete is undefeated. You're not going to be taking off from the free throw line forever.
Nope.
Pull up the latest picture. Look at that picture. I ain't cute no more. I ain't pretty no more. Jesus.
Where my wig at?
Oh, Lord, I ain't cute no more. Pull up that picture, the latest picture of Vanessa Williams. Vanessa, remember Vanessa, I'm talking about the first black Miss America.
She was so beautiful.
You understand? That first, look, the recent, type in recent
Put
picture.
a pretty one next to the newest one.
I'm just saying, Vanessa Williams was bad in a mud.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Vanessa Williams was cold.
Yes, she was.
Yes, she was.
When she had the right stuff.
Right.
In the right places.
You look at Vanessa Williams today, that banana disease done caught up.
Oh, no, not the melanin.
You ain't gonna be cute forever.
No.
So again, you need aunties, right?
Yep.
You need them.
Yes.
You need their wisdom. You need their knowledge to be able to guide you away from prostituting yourself in a passive-aggressive way.
Absolutely.
So many beautiful women. Ooh, that's not a good picture. I'm just talking about the resolution. They can't see that. Child. You got to get a better picture. And listen, I'm not saying that Vanessa Williams isn't still attractive. Have you ever seen a woman that's older and you go, ooh, I know back in the day, God.
She was a baddie.
She was bad. I'm just saying beauty is a type of currency in today's relationships. And it has always been, right? Oh, she's beautiful. But how long is she beautiful for?
Right.
And does her spirit match the physical beauty?
That part.
Yeah, I don't want to see the. Ooh,
That showed
you
the
can see the neck.
You can see the point.
You can see the point.
We see the points without
We see the wrong
Don't
stuff.
do that.
I mean, I see the point you're making.
But this is why I created. The auntie show, and really it was an idea that came from Mimi, because Mimi was like the aunties, and I was like, I like that, so let's roll with it. You understand? And y'all show airs when?
On Fridays at 4, Saturdays at 8. Q said we got Wednesdays now.
I gave you Wednesdays last week.
At, what is it, 9 in the morning or
I
something?
replaced, and it's on Dash Talk X and it's on VOR.
Oh.
Yeah, you
That
know.
makes it easier for us, too.
You know, I'm trying to big y'all up a
We
little
appreciate
bit.
you.
Stop fighting each other, though.
We can't help that. So many is
Yeah.
a thug. She knows she a boo.
You a thug, too.
Oh, right. Yeah, she
You a
know.
thug, too.
She a
First
thug,
off-
too. She a
First
thug.
off, let me tell you right now, before we get into today's topic,
She a thug, too.
let me tell you right now, you a Scorpio.
Yeah, I can't let that thug bully me.
I don't even have to be at y'all shows to know what you doing. I ain't gotta be there.
This goes here, this goes there. Let's
What,
go.
what day? What day are you born on?
The 8th.
Exactly. 8 is the number of power. You're a fixed sign. A fixed Scorpio, you controlling than a mug.
With a Leo rising.
Controlling, god damn.
Read right there. I'm making notes.
And Mimi, Pisces, I don't like this. I'm gonna fight you in a minute. This isn't nice. The other fish is coming. This is not how it's supposed to be. The other fish is going to maul you.
The piranha is taking over from
Please
Jaws.
listen to the goldfish. Jaws is right here.
And he hasn't eaten at all today.
But again, I love y'all to death. I love y'all energy. I love y'all vibe, and we've had a great year. And I want to blow you guys up. I want you guys to continue to mature as radio personalities. Donnie. The reason why I point out Donnie is because Donnie's been doing this for 32 years, and she still don't give a fuck.
Still a rebel.
Donnie,
Yes.
you're a radio personality now,
Yes, I am.
and a comedian.
Yes.
You can't use being a comedian to not follow
The rules?
radio rules. Because that's what Donnie does. I'm a comedian.
That's what
I
we
get
do.
to cut people off and talk all right. Hey, you're running a show now. Love Donnie. Y'all follow them. What's your Instagram handles?
DAUGNEKEITH. Y'all can follow the aunties at
The Auntie Show at Gmail and also Auntie Show at Instagram.
the Aunties Radio Show
Look at her.
Gmail.
Look at her. Look at her
the
face.
The Aunties Radio Show. Okay, it's the Aunties Radio Show.
It's Auntie Radio Show, okay?
I love them, man. I love them.
And you can follow me at Keeping It Real with Mimi.
Oh, Keeping It Real with Mimi. And then, oh, yeah, that's right. You got Keeping It Real on Thursdays. Tell them that,
Right.
too.
Oh, yes, and then check me out, acceleratedradio.net, Keeping It Real with Mimi, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. But the Aunties is going down on Dash and VOR, baby.
Whoop,
Right.
whoop, whoop. On 2 channels.
Dose,
Y'all don't gotta
baby.
hear us argue. That's private.
Well, it's not private anymore. It's out.
Everybody knows now.
Okay.
And then behind the scenes, a little sweetie pie from the South.
Have you listened to her show? It's
I
hilarious.
have listened to her show, and she's amazing.
you.
I called her one day.
Oh.
I was listening to her show on Dash one day. And me and my daughter, we was listening, and my daughter is like, "Is that Sarah? Sarah without the
Hilarious.
H?" I said, "Yeah, this girl is a fool," and she
nut.
was cutting up the whole show. I loved it. When does your show air, Sarah? Another sister that I have empowered. You know why I seek to empower sisters so much? I just gotta keep it 100. I ain't always been good to sisters. I was raised without a daddy. I had to figure out manhood as I grew up. So I wasn't always, come on now, I threw rocks at Big Mama.
Yeah, we haven't forgot that one.
Big Mama tried to whoop me with a plastic wiffle ball bat. I just climbed on top of the neighbor's house. And you remember how some people's houses have rocks on the top of the
gravel,
house? There's gravel. I was like beaming her. I was like, try to whoop me, see what happens.
You know what?
Then her son came out with a belt. You better stop throwing rocks at Mama. I beamed his ass.
Did you get tore up when you got off that roof?
No,
You ran.
because
They couldn't catch you.
my brother was the only one that could control me when I was younger. And my cousin was wise enough to say, this shit's out of control. And he gonna keep ratcheting up. Let me get on the phone and call his brother. So he called my older brother. Now, what's interesting about my older brother, that used to be my hero, because my dad wasn't there. So my older brother had a responsibility, which was unfair to him, but that was the cards life dealt him.
Yeah.
He had to be the older brother and a father figure.
Wow.
You understand? Now, what was interesting about my brother looks like Karl Malone, the ball player.
Yeah, Carl. I used to have the biggest crush on Carl.
My brother is
Malone back
about
in the
6'2", 6'3".
All right,
day.
now.
Arms.
And at 16, he was one of those weird, freakish motherfuckers who didn't have to lift weights. He just had muscles.
Oh, yeah.
wow.
your
He
brother
never
could've
lifted
got it
weights.
back in the
He
day.
was a super freak athlete. Played hoop, played football, boxed. He did everything. And when we came home from foster care, when our mother got us all back together, the youngest kids were the last kids to come home. And when we came home to the Alton Park projects, he was like, all right, y'all gotta learn how to fight. Y'all light skinned, this one got green eyes, this one got amber eyes. Y'all,
Oh, yeah,
this
y'all
ain't
had
cool
to-
out here in the projects, dog.
Cause they's gonna look to beat your ass.
Right, so he immediately made us fight our friends. Like this little nigga right here, and I'm telling you, that first fight, we got dusted by this little project kid. He was like, doo, 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 doo. He was giving us the hands.
Give you that
He was like,
one.
I like y'all, but your brother told me to beat you up.
Your brother told me to beat your ass.
But you know what? We learned from that situation. We adapted, and then, you know, we learned the ways of the projects. Alton Park. Now, Alton Park in Chattanooga, Tennessee doesn't exist anymore. They tore it down. But when I tell you, it was a terrible environment. When I was a kid, I just didn't understand like the life. Because we found a foster situation that was ideal. Two elder, kind of close to elderly black people, owned their own home, lived in the suburbs, had about 50 foster children before us. But when they got me and my brother, they wanted to keep us. They were like, nah, these are not foster kids. These are our children. I talk about this in the relationship dismount, right? The lady, her name was Mary Bynum. The father, his name was James Bynum. The Bynums out of Chattanooga. He was an upholsterer. He reupholstered furniture.
Oh, that's a good trade.
He had a hell of a trade, right? One day they ran into my mother 5 years after we went into foster care.
Wow.
When they got me, I was 10, 11 months, maybe a year.
Oh, you was a baby.
I was a baby.
Wow.
My brother is 10 months older than me.
So
He-
y'all was both little.
So he could speak. When they got him, he told them, y'all gotta go back and get my little brother. He was a baby though.
Oh.
He was like, I want my brother. I want my brother. And it was like, you don't have no brother. We got you. You don't have no brother. And for months, he lamented, I need my brother. Y'all tripping.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, he's a baby.
Wow.
He's a toddler that could speak, and he's telling them, I have a brother, for real. Go get him. So they go back to the orphanage, and they find me in a basket next to the stove.
Wow.
And he was like, there he is, right there. And it was like, okay, we got to get him. So then they got me and reunited me with my brother who's 10 months older. It was 6 of us. We didn't get back until I was 6. My brother was 7. You see what I'm saying? So we were still
you
young.
didn't know any of these people.
I didn't know any of my other brothers and sisters. I didn't know them. And then it was the Fresh Prince in reverse, so to speak. We go from middle class, you know, going to church every Sunday, getting haircuts, stopping at Baskin Robbins, you know, getting that ice cream sandwich,
Yeah.
getting a haircut, picking out Christmas gifts. I mean,
Nah.
to the damn projects.
To that government cheese.
Man, when we got to the damn projects, it was a we in the projects. And I just gotta say, man, it was a struggle. I remember it clearly. It was a struggle. And my struggle wasn't even a 10th of the struggle that my older siblings had gone through.
Right.
My 2 older brothers, when my mother got sick, they were too old for foster care. So they had to go to jail.
Ain't that a bitch? That's how they did people back then. Either
They had to go
insane
to like
asylum or jail.
They had to go to like a juvenile hall or something.
A
They had to
group
go
home.
there, a group home. It was like jail. My brother, who's like Carl Malone, he recants and tells or recalls a story of looking through the bars of the window. There's a window, but it's got bars on it. And he can see my sister at a foster care home across the street from where him and my oldest brother were in prison. Do you understand?
Wow.
It was tough.
That's crazy.
So what I went through wasn't nothing compared to what they went through. When we got to the projects, it was welfare. It was tough, right? It was tough. Roaches by the billions.
Whoa.
You know you got a lot of roaches when you see a lot of albino roaches.
Right.
Yeah.
Or old big ones.
Old big roaches.
They've been
like,
around for centuries.
I've been here, Nick.
It's my house. What you doing here, nigga? Get off
The
my
white
couch.
roach. You know I know about that white roach.
You understand? You know, listen, my sister, she was afraid of mice. So she would ask me, I'm like 7 or 8. She would say, let me ride on your back down the steps to go to the kitchen. Because I want to get some water or something. And she's older than me. So she riding on my back. I'm taking her down the steps. And these is old concrete and metal steps. I'm carrying her down the steps. As soon as we get to this kitchen, I was scared than a motherfucker.
All the roaches.
No. When we flicked the lights on, thousands of mice. All over the stove, on top of the damn refrigerator.
Whoa.
So we've been through it. You understand?
Scared.
We've been through it. So to be, like I said, it's 2019, we're at the end of the year. To go from that to where I am today,
Right.
right? A lot of times, man, people be like, you know, what is there to be thankful for? And you
lot.
look back and you go, well, goddamn, I got through that.
That's right. That's right.
I got through that. I got 3 beautiful children.
That's
Yes.
right.
They're all high school graduates.
Yes, sir.
It's a blessing.
My oldest is about to get his degree in philosophy. My
Hey,
daughter's
now.
about to transfer to USC.
That's
Hey,
right.
now,
My youngest graduated from high school.
it's a blessing.
That is a blessing.
You understand? Like, I've done a lot of major things in life.
Yes.
Yes,
Do
you
you
have.
understand?
Yes, you have.
You've written books.
I've written
Trailblazers.
books. I was a high-end
TV.
music executive, been on television. I've done a lot of things.
Such a blessing.
And then there's still a lot of life ahead of me. I got my own radio station.
You was a cartoon bat. I forgot
I
about
wasn't
that.
a cartoon was bad. Okay, so look, there was a cartoon in '91 that I did the rap intro for. I was 18 years old. In '91? No, I was like 20. I was like 20. There was an R&B group by the name of Royalty, produced by Full Force. They were on Warner Brothers.
Full force.
And I was real tight with one of the female singers in the group. It was a family. Royalty. Produced by Warner Brothers. Or signed to Warner Brothers. The sister, her name was Kisa. Kisa is now a writer.
Oh, dope.
You know, she writes a lot of records. Kisa called me and said, look, this company, Deke, D-I-C, who produces all these cartoons back in the day. She said, this company, it's a division of Disney or whatever, they called and asked my brother to do this rap, but he can't do it. And they asked me if I knew anybody. And she called me.
That was good.
And I went over there. They already had the rap written. So I went over there and did the rap.
What was the name of the cartoon?
The cartoon was called Little Dracula. You can get it back, that's fine. Little Dracula. I did the rap for Little Dracula. And what's crazy is, and I'm gonna get to the topic. I just feel like sharing. That's the group right there,
Yeah,
Royalty.
Royalty.
Kisa is the one with her hair pulled back. They brothers and sisters,
Oh, okay.
right? And I did the little rap, and from that little rap, these white producers was like, yo, that was amazing. You did it in one take. It was nice. We're gonna use it. There's the cartoon, Little Dracula.
Oh my God.
There's so y'all.
Right? Little Dracula. It was there.
You know I ain't gonna never let that one go.
Little Dreezy.
But look at his teeth, right?
So they loved it. They loved it. Now, Little Dracula was only on for about 8 or 9 episodes, and then they yanked it.
Oh, wow.
But what's crazy is there's a cult following for Little Dracula right now.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, it was only on Fox for like 8 or 9 episodes, and then Fox yanked it. But now there's a following for Little Dracula.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Baby Dracula.
And so my little intro it's me rapping the intro.
And they still hearing it. Zoe all in the intro rapping.
Now, what's crazy is
Hilarious.
from that gig, those white boy producers was like, hey, we working on the Hammerman cartoon. Can you make the beats and produce the beats and do voices? I said, hell motherfucking yeah.
Hell to the year.
Hell yeah, I can do it.
You ain't said nothing but a word.
So I was a part of a group of guys that produced. So remember Stan the Guitar Man from NWA? Mm-hmm. He produced, guitar licks for their musical pieces.
Yep.
Do you remember DJ Homicide from Sugar Ray, the group Sugar Ray?
I remember Sugar Ray.
The rock group Sugar Ray had one black dude in it. He was the DJ.
See?
That DJ is from Pasadena. The homie's name is DJ Homicide.
That's dope.
DJ, at first I called my one homeboy. I go, hey, Cash Flow, you want to get this bread? Get your break beats. Let's go over there. I'm going to pick the loops. And then Cash Flow kind of saw the setup and was like, nah, you got to give me more money. I said, never mind, Cash Flow.
Right.
No. Then I get on the phone and call the homeboy Homicide.
Hammer.
I call Homicide, and Homicide is like, hell yeah, I'm down. So we went over there and looped up a gang of loops. And then the white boys played keyboards over it. And that's the music for Hammerman.
Wow.
Zoe been a part of historic cartoons.
Okay, Hammer. Okay.
Do you understand? Like,
Please, Hammer, don't hurt him.
do you understand what I'm saying? The Morgan Freeman of cartoons.
Oh. Oh.
Do you understand? So,
In there.
you, my story that I'm talking about is in the relationship dismount. But when you look back and say, man, I made it out of Chattanooga, right? Out of abject poverty. I made it to Southern California with my family and had to figure it out as a man.
You did that.
And you
I'm
did
blessed.
a very great job.
So,
Yes, you did.
I'm blessed and I'm flawed and a lot of shit is wrong with me still. But I'm happy I'm alive. I'm happy I'm here today.
That's right.
And after everything that has transpired, the only thing that I would say I have a slight regret over is my mother couldn't be here to experience me up.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah,
Like
I
up.
understand.
I understand.
And I was really disappointed about that because I understood what she has been through. Raped, you know, the projects, you know, family members who could have did more for her but didn't do it because of judgment.
Right, instead of just helping.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like there's no way, and part of my family is still salty about it. There's no way her 6 kids should have went to foster care
Ever.
when she got brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, grandparents, everybody there.
Right.
Yeah.
So part of my motivation was I got to do right by mama.
That's right. That's right.
And she passed in 09 and I didn't get a chance. So I felt a little hollow, you know. I felt like, damn, I wasn't able to
show
give her a better life, and that's what I wanted to give her. So that pissed me off, and I'm still a little salty about it, you know. But such is life.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So I say all of that to say I'm grateful, I'm thankful that I got good people around me.
Right.
That's right.
I got people like Peaches and Mimi and Sarah,
Yes,
good
you
people
do.
around me.
That's right.
Hey, Auntie Abernathy,
She proud of you, baby.
Prophetess Abernathy.
Oh, bless her.
Lord have mercy.
I got a word for you.
Boy, where you get that gold hat, prophetess?
Okay.
It turns into a collection plate.
You
flip
understand?
it.
Yes.
Turn it upside down.
Yeah.
Water in the wine under that hat. Lord have mercy.
Boy.
The anointing.
Hey.
So this leads me to today's topic, and I want to throw it to you guys. I want you guys to really dig into this because we're moving into 2020.
Yes.
2020 is the designation for clear sight.
Yes, it is.
You got 2020, you don't need glasses. You got perfect sight.
Amen.
Right.
That's right.
What do you see for yourself moving forward in the 2020?
Ooh, boy.
And I ask these questions because something's very interesting here. Miss Tabor, Whitney Tabor, you guys know her from
Yeah,
The Voice of
Whitney.
Reason. She sent me
Hey,
this and
Whitney.
said, Zoe, you need to talk about this as a topic. And it's an IG post. And it says, the real reason men and women are having such a hard time with dating is because we are not raising men and women to be compatible with each other.
That's it.
Parents raise girls to be severely independent, but raise boys to be overly dependent on their mothers. I need y'all to hear that. There's a flaw in how it's written, but I understand what they're trying to convey. Parents are so strict with girls, but lenient with boys. You can't raise boys to want feminine women, but then raise girls to be masculine and aggressive and go-getters. The conflict, I see what they're trying to say, but I want to throw this to you guys after I finish reading it. You can't raise a woman to want a loyal man when you let boys do irresponsible things and brush it off as them just being boys. The person is talking about the contradictions and the inconsistencies that lead to our incompatibility as man and woman. Y'all from a different generation, as am I. And I want to know, moving into 2020, with all these different narratives, we are a slave to the narratives that media produces for us. I want to know, how do we find a 100% down person? How do we find a genuine person? How do we find an authentic person? How do we find a person who don't mind being vulnerable and loving on you as you are? How do we find that? Moving into a new decade, right? How do we find a person that we can be comfortable being flawed around?
That's not easy at all.
Speak on it!
And that's something I really hope my son finds, because I've given up on that for me, per se. I think I found someone that I can get along with, and I found someone that accepts me for me, but we're still new, so I can't go by that. You know, that I'm too grown to think about that. But for my son, I really hope because I raised him to know, you know, what type of shit not to put up with from a woman, from yourself. And it's not easy. It starts at home. It starts with us parents, because you have a grown daughter, I have a grown son, and you have grown children. Our children are at marrying ages, me and Mimi's children. Yours are just getting out of school and stuff, so it's a little bit different. They still discovering them. But my son is 33. He's looking for a wife. But he told me, I'm not marrying anybody, Mom. But you got to accept your flaws and share them with your new mate when you meet them. People got to be honest with each other when they meet. What are you looking for? What do you want out of this? You know?
I like that.
What do you want from me?
Mimi?
I feel like you got to be what you're looking for to a certain degree.
Be what you're looking for. Ding, 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 ding. Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
you have to be that mirror reflection. So you want to find someone honest and treat you good. Well, you have to be honest and treat them good. And so you're going to find what you are. If you're, out here whole-mongering around, then the chances of you finding someone that has a certain integrity, it's not going to really mesh. But if you have that same integrity and you guys meet a man and you're honest, your intention is right, I think you're on the right path. But you have to first be that yourself. You can't look for what you're not in someone else. And you have to know who you are, whose you are, and love yourself first.
Somebody said you have to see love in order to model love.
I like that.
I like that.
But me personally, that puts the power on the external.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you're not being love. You got to be love in order to see love, to get love.
We'll say it a different way. Mimi, go ahead.
You know what I was going to say? I mean, I feel like I grew up in a situation where I didn't get maybe the love I see other kids get in their homes. I'll just put it to you like that. But I think that, even if you go through stuff like that, that doesn't mean that you can't love. That's just like saying you're in an abusive home and then you're going to definitely be abusive. You could be, or you could be the narrative to be different. So I'm saying that in my case, I feel like because I didn't see love, I want love. Maybe I don't have exactly what I'm looking for, but I believe that it's available. Just because I didn't see it, I don't think that it's non-existent.
There we go. I like that.
Yeah.
Peaches?
Because, see, my mom was raised in foster care, too.
Mm-hmm.
My mom's dad dropped them off at a park one day. My mom was 10 years old, and her sister was 7. And he kept his son with him and just dropped the girls off at the park. So my mother never knew how to show me love, per se. She would do things that let me know she loved us, because she would say, I still got you. You ain't in foster care.
Well, damn.
I mean, but that's my mama. That's how she
I bought
talks.
butter today.
Basically, you eat,
You like
bitch,
butter,
the
don't you?
lights on. You know, you eat, bitch, the lights on, but all that hugging and kissing and stuff, I didn't get that from her.
My mother used to do the church hug, where she would just, and then tap you.
Yeah.
The-
See, at least you got that. My mother didn't hug at all, and my father didn't. My father would tell me I love you and let me sit on his lap, but he didn't show it often. It would be like once every 5-6 years.
So I always say, you can't model something authentic. You can only imitate it.
Exactly.
Love is authentic. Love is about discovery. You discover it in yourself first. How I discovered this was in my 30s. Right? With the birth of my daughter. She woke up something in me different. Now, when I had my boy, my first boy, that's my boy.
You was beating your chest.
Right.
You know, I got a boy. But at the same time, there was a lot of fear in me. Because it was like, shit, I got a boy. What am I going to do?
A black man.
Damn. How am I going to feed him? Like, what am I doing? But when my daughter came, I swear to God, I was there. I pulled her out of the hole.
Oh, okay. That's right.
And when I saw her for the first time, it looked like she had lip gloss on.
This nigga, it was blood on
She didn't have nothing. There was nothing on her.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't dirty and covered in nothing.
She didn't have no
She just
afterbirth,
came out
you know.
clean.
Oh, okay.
right.
And it looked like she had lip gloss on. And she wasn't crying. And they gave her to me, and she was just like,
Just staring at
I
you.
said, God damn, this is my girl. This is the girl. And then as she got older, even as a child, she wouldn't tolerate my childishness.
She challenges you.
Oh man. As a 3-year-old, she was like, get out. Like, you bullshitting, get out.
That's a beautiful thing. Oh, look at her.
So you understand, like, she just woke up something in me that was crazy. And it let me know. And I named her Love.
That's what her name means?
Prema, from the Sanskrit. Prema, prema, devotional love for God.
That's awesome.
And that has been kind of, her purpose in my life. She is the one that made me appreciate women differently. You understand? She is the one. She gave me faith and I love my mother to death, but my mother at different times in her life let me down. So that changed my perspective. But then as I matured, I was like, that's the only thing she got in her toolbox. It ain't her fault that she was in the circumstance and situation that she was in. She did the best with what she had, and her intentions were to do even better. So I can't fault her for that.
Right.
But there was a time, I was a talented basketball player in high school. But by the time I got to high school, I had got kicked out of so many different schools
You're bad.
that when I came to her and said, I don't want to go to this high school, I want to go to the high school where my cousin Craig is at, and I have a better shot of playing hoop there. This school over here is a little bougie. My mother was an Aries. She just told me straight up. And she told me this when I was 30. She didn't tell me this in high school. But when I was 30, she just said, man, I was just tired of dealing with you. So I was like, damn, that hurt. You understand? She was, I just, shit. You had put me through a lot, nigga. Elementary, getting kicked out of school, beating up people, you was tripping. And I did what I could for your ass until I got tired.
She just washed her hands.
So, when my daughter was born, it gave me another perspective. Somebody that loves you despite your flaws.
Loves you despite of you.
Despite you.
That's
You
right.
fuck, but nigga, I love you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nothing you can do about
My
it.
mother used to tell me that. I love you in spite of you.
That did so much for me, having that little girl. That's why, boy, I be on one about that little girl.
That's right.
And thank God to her mother, respecting my position as father.
That's right.
That's dope too.
That's what's up.
Getting that phone call when she's in the doctor's office and they say, we want to give her the HPV vaccine. No. Let me call her daddy. Nah, we cool. Well, no, it's time and blah, blah. Nah, I said we cool.
Right.
Mama, you hear what I said? Yeah, I heard. Is it okay? We cool.
Right.
All right, I'll holler at y'all when I see y'all again. Come back to the crib, see them. Hey, did y'all get that shot? No, we didn't get that shot.
Respect.
Respect my position on that.
Right.
I love it.
Your fatherhood.
Do
She
you
respects
understand?
your fatherhood.
The king of the house. The king.
So, she grew me up. That's a mirror relationship that I feel this generation of kids are afraid to get involved with. Anything that shows them the underbelly of who they are. They don't want that. They want stimulation, they want excitement, they want to be doing shit, they want to be going places. You broke spiritually, but you in Thailand.
Right.
Fuck you doing in Thailand,
Living your
drinking
best
coconut
life.
milk, taking pictures with G-strings on.
Talking about you living your best
You're
life.
not living your best life unless you're unraveling what you've been through.
Right.
And relationships are designed to do that specifically. How can we do it? Moving into 2020. How can we clear the debris and start to interface and interact with each other on such a level that the best parts of ourselves begin to emerge through the muck, the trauma, the pain that we've been through? How do we do it, Mimi?
First of all, we got to look at ourselves and then know where we fall short. A lot of times people think they never fall short, so then they never make the attempt to do better. So I think first and foremost, looking at yourself, saying things you could do differently because you've been in 10 relationships. They say the same thing about you. All 10 people don't know each other, so you might be the common denominator to figure out what that looks like. So I think that's important. And then I think it's also important to go in and without expectation in a relationship. So let it be. Don't go in trying to, they should know me or they should do this, this, and that. Go in with the intention of getting to know the person and being what you want to see in a person, give them exactly that. The respect that you want them to have for you, give them that same respect. And I think once they feel the mirrored imagery, because when you love somebody, to be honest with you, there's nothing you won't do for that person. So once the true love is there and it's pure, then you're in a win-win situation because you guys are going to work through the challenges and make it right.
Peaches?
I think we need to do town hall meetings between men and women. I think families, clans should have town meetings. Well, I won't call it a town meeting, or like in our ancient times, our ancestors used to sit around a fire and pass a talking stick. I think families should do that, and relationships should do that. Like, bring your husbands, your wives, your daughter-in-laws, your children, and let them hear the disagreements and the grievances between the sexes and talk about it as an open forum. And I think that might help a lot of people if it's an open forum in their family to discuss it.
A devotion.
Yeah, like
That's what my mama used to call it. Let's have devotion.
yeah, and my
Let's
great
get
grandma
together and
used to
sit
say
down
that.
and have devotion. That's family bonding.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And I think that's important too.
It is.
Get in here, Sarah, without the H. Let's get her in here. She needs that.
Well, from the South, you are used to a child need to stay in a child's place, get out of grown folks' business, get out my mouth, children go over here, and the parents over there. So, but is the ideal situation is what, Daugne was talking about. Like, we always wanted to be in there with the grown folks. We wanted to know what's going on, to see what they are doing, what they talk about and everything. It's a curiosity that we have for the older generation. We didn't know that we were trying to get wisdom at the time, but we really were. We were trying to get to know how it is to be an adult. And by a lot of times the separation of the two, you really don't know what the inner workings. They was having some real good conversations in there, that we wanted to be a part of, and I think that we would have grown from instead of being talked to after something happened. A lot of the things I feel were could have been prevented if we, especially me, I can speak for myself, if a lot of times that we were actually told in a way that you're not talking to me, but you're coming from a place that you experienced it, not the fact that you're just telling me something that I should do that you don't do. That makes sense.
I was called mannish.
Oh, I was mischievous.
I could see that.
I was mannish. I remember my sister. I remember when she was 16, she was a majorette. In the dig, twirl that baton. Black,
Drill team and all that.
them down south bands. I remember she was in a parade once, and I followed her the whole parade route, me and my brothers. We followed her the whole parade route. That's my sister, going crazy, right? She was a pretty girl, tall, brown skin, pretty girl. Everybody loved her. Everybody. 16, everybody wanted her. I knew about it too.
I'm sure you did.
I'm sure you did. You had the rock in your back pocket.
She would have a dude over,
Little hater.
and they would be in the living room with the light off, listening to the radio. If you set the scene, can you imagine Boogie Nights on the radio?
Boogie nights. Oh.
Right. Boogie Nights. So what I would do is position myself in the living room in a corner where I could not be detected.
Oh, motherfucker.
And I would be listening to him talk to her, listening to the moves. But I was still a kid, so I'd be back there giggling and shit. And then she would get mad, kick my ass, and send me upstairs. But I would find a way back down to see more. My oldest niece, I don't want to put it out there, but I was there when she was conceived.
Badass.
Oh, bad.
You just put it out there.
Because I knew what was happening. The door is closed. Mom is not here.
That is the worst when your brother catch you doing something.
So I was on some bullshit. I was banging on the door asking for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You need to make me a sandwich now.
I'm hungry.
And then I busted in and saw what was happening.
And stood there.
By the time we get to California, she pregnant. I said, oh, Lord, I seen it go down.
Look at
actually
this.
went up.
I'm a witness. Sarah, you ain't shit.
I was bad as hell.
Yeah.
But being observant is the point I'm trying to make. We're not an observant society, right? The cell phones in our hands are smarter than the people holding them.
Yep.
That's
Nowadays.
Do you understand? You got people out there who are more invested in having an opinion than fortifying their opinions.
True.
Ooh, what do you fortify your opinion with? You read, you study. And not only read from a particular point of view, you read from every point of view.
Right. You got to learn it all.
If I'm going to have a discussion with a pastor, I'm going to have it from multiple layers. I'm going to ask the pastor, do you speak Greek? Do you speak Hebrew? Do you speak Aramaic? Do you speak Arabic? Do you speak Ashuric? Because these are all the machinations that these scriptures have gone through before they got to English. Do you speak all of this? Well, no, I don't need to. I'm the Spirit of God has given me discernment.
That old discernment.
Let me say, you on some fuck shit.
Right.
I never studied. I just ate chicken after church and drank that punch.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I was an observer. I can remember being a child and motherfuckers say, that kid is bright. Bright used to stand for intelligent.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
That boy, bright. That's because I was quiet. Get this little bad kid. He looked like he done stole.
He don't look bright. He look like he on some other shit, Sarah. That nigga's a hustler. She just put up a hustling kid.
Little hustling ass baby.
Right.
That nigga got
game.
He
He
got
watching
dope
too.
in his pockets right now.
So when I pulled up this topic and we see all of these contradictions, women are acting like men.
Yes,
Men
they
are acting like women.
Yes, they are.
Men are as catty as women used to be. I remember there was a time when a man wasn't about back and forth bickering and all of this, whatnot.
all that bitch shit.
Right, sometimes, and again, it's not my job to reprimand or correct or be on anybody's team or whatever. My thing is, moving forward for black men and black women, if a man is being catty to his woman, how can she respect him? If a man is being petty to his woman, how can she respect him? If a man has no knowledge of self and no internal compass, how can she follow him?
She can't.
If the woman got the compass, and I'm not saying women can't have the compass. Listen to what I'm saying. The captain of a ship ain't always the navigator of the ship. The captain will delegate responsibilities
Right.
to the most, what? Skilled or the most knowledgeable people in a particular field.
Yeah.
That's leadership.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
If your woman better at handling the money than you, let her handle the money.
They ain't about to do that.
But it's about trust.
Right.
And when I say trust, I don't mean fear-based trust. I mean acceptance of what it is. Who is this person you got up under you? Is this a person you can confide in? Is this a person who wouldn't betray you?
Right.
Is this a person who wouldn't disrespect you? We live in a microwave society that asks us to choose on sight. She cute. She got a slim waist. She got a fatty. She got that thick monkey that I like. You know, the fat monkeys. Let me tell you about
Focus.
Oh, sorry.
And then Sarah gonna put her ass up on the screen. You
I
ain't
swear
shit
for
either.
Jesus, boy, that fat monkey! That fat monkey have people tripping now. But again, right, you be up at night looking like, where's she going?
Looking like a lemur.
Looking like a meerkat. Where's that fat monkey going?
Don't leave. Don't go out the house.
Don't leave. Leave the coochie.
Why you driving that car?
So again, the most qualified people, right? And a real leader of a household, a real leader of a business is not intimidated by the most qualified person in a certain area.
Right.
Tell your wife, who might be the navigator of the ship, she might be the one that reads the stars. She might be the one that's excellent at star maps. Mm-hmm. All right? As the captain, this is where we're going. You see Captain Jean-Luc Picard of Star Trek, or Captain Kirk, Ensign, laying a course for the beta system. She might be the person that lays in the course.
Yeah, she might be his Scotty.
And a real man is not intimidated by a skilled woman.
Not at all.
An intellectually skilled woman, a spiritually skilled woman. Mm-hmm. Man, I got my hand of Ifa in November of 2018. Ifa is old. You don't even have an age for it. But it's the foundation of Africa's spirituality.
Okay.
It's no different than the Egyptian mystery system. It's no different than the Dogons. It's no different. It's Yoruba. It's Ifa. It evolves into Santeria. It evolves into Voodoo. It evolves into our shit. Here in Lukumi, it's ours. My daughter's love for me led me to appreciate women in a different way. When I got my hand of Ifa, brothers weren't attending to me. Mm-hmm. Sisters were.
Okay.
A few months ago, I'm filming on my Instagram 2 sisters walking around the neighborhood identifying herbs. Mm-hmm. Zoe, pick that. Zoe, grab that. Zoe, get this. Zoe, pick that. We got aloe vera at the crib. Zoe, I want you to get there and get me 12 lemon leaves. Mm-hmm. Climb up there and grab. Zoe, grab these jasmine right here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We're going to go back to the house. We're going to chop all these herbs up. Then I'm going to call on your ancestors and pray over this water.
Okay.
We're going to pour water in this, and then we're going to pray over it. And when I tell you those sisters was praying as Jesus instructed his disciples to pray in the Garden of Gethsemane. Mm-hmm. Remember they said Jesus was praying so hard he had tears of blood. Mm-hmm. Them sisters was praying vehemently for my protection and abundance. I had never seen it. Mm-hmm. I've been taught that most women ain't shit. I have an example of that too. Mm-hmm. But I've been taught in a way that makes it seem like all women, all the sisters are like that, and it ain't true. And so the same little kid that was sitting behind the couch spying on my sister is still an adult observer
of women.
And I'm observing these women, and they don't know me longer than y'all know me. Mm-hmm. But they're praying hard for me.
Amen.
Do you understand?
Yes.
For my success, for my health, for clarity, for well-being. Do you understand? Then the sister sat there. I ain't really got nothing to do but observe. The sister is divining on my future. The sister is divining on my money. The sister is divining. This is stuff Big Mama knew. You know your Big Mama had a horseshoe over her door?
Not mine.
One of them did. Oh, yeah, you.
Yeah,
you
my
weird.
family is devout Christians. They
Yeah.
had no
That's why
talismans,
listen,
none of that. No
That's why
frogs.
you going to hell.
Whatever, nigga. No, I'm just Look, that's when you just go, whatever, nigga.
But no, this is the stuff your grandmother knew. Your grandmother was a herbologist.
Yeah, they were. They know
understand?
about herbs.
You have to understand, Christianity in its early form is mixed in with what I'm talking about now. You go to South Carolina and you go to those churches, some of them still have the same practices where they hid the ancient African belief system underneath Christianity. The term they use is called synchronizing. If you from the Caribbean, that's what Santeria is.
Or voodoo.
That's what that is. We're going to synchronize the Catholic saints, saint worship. We're going to synchronize it. Saint Michael is Shango. But to the slave master, you think I'm worshiping Saint Michael because that's your belief system, which is a remake of ours. These sisters prayed over that water. And then I sat and watched. Listen, I'm used to people saying, you do that shit yourself. I'm not finna do that for you. I'm used to that. You figure that shit out. I'm not finna do that. This sister meticulously took her time and scooped out all that water with all them herbs. It came up to 7 gallons.
That's a lot of water.
She said, brother, bathe in this 1 gallon a day. I said, should I put some Florida water in it too? She said, no, because the Florida water isn't consecrated. This water is consecrated. Moving into 2020, we don't have this type of energy. Can you imagine marrying a woman who loves you to the point where she will create a cleansing bath, a wash with prayers and consecrate her man's water? No, the only water we got, the only flow we got is dough. There's no spirituality in the relationships. It's all transactional. It's all, what are you going to do for me? Right? Why do you think they end? Why do you think they don't work? You don't have a spiritual anchor in nothing. If you disagree, please share with me.
Well, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I respect what you do, and I respect what they prayed over and consecrated your waters and everything. But I also know that if you do love someone, you will pray vehemently for them. And whatever your
vehemently or vehemently?
Vehemently. Over everything.
And I'm not saying that Christian sisters don't pray hard over their men.
Believers.
My mother didn't know none of this.
Whatever you believe in.
Let me tell you something. My mother didn't know none of this. She didn't know any of this. When we moved to the projects, let me tell you something. My mother spent at least 12 hours a day in a closet on her knees praying.
Yeah, that's a lot of prayer.
I should have been dead, Sarah. The shit I was into. I remember I left in the second grade. In the second grade, let me tell you something. I did school so much in the second grade.
Second grade.
Let me tell you something now. I did school so much in the second grade. 2 incidents happened. I remember the truant officer coming to my house, knocking on the door. My mother answered the door. I was in a tree, across the street, in a tree, with my legs crossed.
Watching.
On the highest branch of that bitch, looking.
Oh my God.
I was up there looking.
Oh my God. That is terrible.
Where's your son, Miss Williams? He's supposed to be at school. Well, he's not at school, and he hasn't been at school for weeks. I'm in a tree with my legs crossed. This nigga don't even know. I'm at the top branch, just perched, chilling, watching.
Like a damn vampire. In a
So when I
tree.
got home, of course, I got a whooping.
I'm sure.
I got a whooping, whatever. But at that point, it didn't even really matter. Whoopings was like, okay, it's par for the course. I'm gonna be on this shit again tomorrow.
Badass.
My mother would get phone calls. You know, your son's down at the train hoboing.
Hoboing. Trying to hop on trains.
We were just on the trains.
Badass.
You know, your son is down there at the glass factory walking on the glass barefooted.
And you didn't know none of that shit could get you killed.
I didn't give a fuck. But what I recognized as I got older, prayer got power.
Yes,
Yeah, because it kept your ass alive.
I could have been dead. There's a lot of other things that I was into. I could have been dead.
Yes.
So I'm not trying to marginalize your belief systems. The point that I'm trying to make is what is missing is the spirit component. You can't argue that Christianity has lost some of its spirit component.
Oh, it's all lost spirituality.
Ever since Jim Baker and Jimmy Swaggart and Peter Popoff and Creflo Dollar and all these prosperity preachers, a lot of people done got away from the essence.
They following Kanye preaching. Come on now.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
This nigga painting himself silver talking about Jesus. Jesus gonna step on him. It's just not gonna happen, sir. You got yourself silver.
So again, the social worker got involved because I'm ditching in the second grade and was like, you got to get him under control. He got to go to school. So I go back to school, second grade. I'm going to tell you my reason for ditching.
I could just guess.
The first grade, I loved it. I loved my teacher. I liked this lady. Second grade, new teacher.
Didn't like
I
it.
didn't like her. So what I would do every morning, I would take my little lunch, my little poverty lunch. I
Your
would put
bologna salami
I would
sandwich.
put that little poverty lunch in my cubby hole, and then I would make up some excuse to use the bathroom. I got a boo-boo or something.
Badass.
I was very persuasive, charming. It was a little cutie pie, of course.
Batting them eyes
Oh,
at the
yeah.
teacher.
Right.
Let me go to the take that little boy down.
Hilarious.
And your ass would go climb the first tree you see by your
And-
house.
once the the social workers got involved and was like, look, you got to get in control of them. I went back to school, and when I went back to school and opened that cubby hole, it wasn't nothing but maggots. All my lunches was still in there rotten. That's how many days I missed.
That's how they found out you wasn't there.
This motherfucker here.
They smelt it.
Right.
But what I'm trying to say is, even through all of that, there was a spiritual compass. My mother prayed, and I know, knowing what I know now about science, about the wave function collapse, about the intention-based universe, reality that we live in. That's the only thing that makes sense. She prayed to keep me out of harm's way, and I was out of harm's way.
Yes, amen.
That's right.
Thank
you
you,
understand?
Jesus.
What's the scripture? As a man thinketh?
In his
So
heart,
shall it
so
be.
is he.
That's Psalms, yes? What is that?
Oh, it's Proverbs, isn't it? So is man thinks in his heart, so is he.
Proverbs, one of them? 23? Proverbs 20?
No, it's not Proverbs 20.
Well, pull it up, whichever one it is. Psalms, Proverbs, whatever. I told y'all I done forgot more than most niggas have ever learned.
But you know a lot more than
It's
niggas
actually
don't know.
Proverbs 23.
So I was right. And scene. Let me tell you something. My mother had me in a little, I was in a Catholic school or a little Christian school when I moved to Altadena. I love that teacher, Miss Gary. Oh, Miss Gary. Lord have mercy. She had the little Jim Hill afro.
It's not the gym here.
Oh, she was young and athletic and mean.
No, everything about her just turned you on.
Oh, no, I needed mean. I needed mean. I had just got kicked out of this alternative school, which was ideal because we lived on Altadena Drive, 665 West Altadena Drive. We lived right there, Altadena Drive in Lincoln. And the school was literally, all I had to do was hop the fence. And I was at school. And it was an alternative school. It was one of those weird hippie kind of schools. You call the teachers and the principal and everybody by their first name.
Oh no, your ass didn't need to be
I was
there.
like, hi, Pam. You call everybody by their first name.
That was the worst place to put your ass.
Yeah, you
And
didn't
what
need to
was-
be there.
What was interesting was my uncle, Sam. I got an Uncle Sam. He's an opera singer and a pianist. And a painter, an artist. But he was also my English teacher.
Oh.
Now, the difference between me and my brother, who's 10 months older than I am, was 3 months into that school, I got into a fight and got kicked out in the 3rd grade.
Your brother had a calmer temper.
I had to fight this big Mexican boy named Bobby Sanchez.
He remember his name.
Right.
I was poor as hell. I had on some rust-colored tough skins, and I had these hard-ass white tap dancing shoes. Oh, we was broke as a joke. I had on some straight. I was in the 3rd grade, but it was like I had on them big-ass baby shoes. You remember them big white baby shoes?
You had on Buster Browns. You had on Buster Browns.
So Bobby decides he wants to pick a fight with me. Now again, you know I love trees. Now this school was crazy because it was kindergarten to the 12th grade.
Oh, wow.
So I'm hanging out with the high schoolers. This is where I get my first nickname, Spider-Man.
This nigga swinging out the tree.
Because I'm swinging in the swings, and I would swing real high to the point where I would leap out the swing and land in the tree.
I'm done.
The high schoolers said, this nigga Spider-Man.
I can't. Just go on and call the show off, because this nigga crazy. This nigga crazy. He's swinging out the trees on the swing.
This nigga Spider-Man.
You got on all that red.
So I was real cool with the high school kids. I got into it with Bobby Sanchez. The high school kids were really thugs. You remember back in the days with the golf hats
Oh, yeah.
and the house shoes? They were them.
Oh, they was gone with it.
So I bit a plug out of Bobby. Because Bobby was fat and he landed on me. I had to get out of there, so I bit a plug out of Bobby.
Right.
What Bobby mama do?
Bobby mama didn't do shit.
Oh, she didn't come to your
No,
mama?
I knew I was in trouble because a couple of hours later, I see the principal It was an Asian man named Bill. And all
Bill.
Bill did was walk out of his office, out the school, and into our apartment complex.
Oh my God.
He was right next door. You couldn't escape.
And he told my mom, okay, he can't come here no more.
Yeah, his violent ass don't need to be a man. Your son is too violent. He bought Bobby Sanchez so bad.
I beat the shit out of Bobby. Bobby was crying and shit. I'm sorry, Bobby.
He had to get a tetanus shot and all kind of shit.
So I got sent, to a bunch of schools.
Yeah.
But what I recognized throughout all of this was that woman did not stop her spiritual discipline.
Because she knew who she was dealing with.
She did not stop that spiritual discipline, man. And I believe it guided me.
I think so,
That's
too.
right.
I believe it shielded me. And I be telling people all the time, it doesn't matter the dogma. It matters the intent. Doesn't matter the belief.
Right.
We have the power to animate any belief. Do you understand? No matter what it is, we have to, if we believe in rocks, rocks are alive. Rocks are God.
There's somebody out there that does.
I'm saying it don't matter. It's our belief that is the fuel for it all.
Right.
Now, my mother never said, I believe in you. And that's fine. Because whatever she believed in, I believe she animated that shield around me.
That's right.
There's been so many times I could have been dead.
Her prayer was your force field.
I'm trying to tell you, I've done stupid shit and never really got in major trouble for it. I could have been a stat.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, when we look at the contradictions that plague us today, we have to be more careful as men and women to say, where did this belief come from?
Yeah.
Was this belief born out of desperation and fear? Was it born out of guilt? Where did it come from? And how did this belief shape me? Right? When we look at the new kids today, you got women that are more concerned about losing their independence than finding a man who will provide.
That is honestly true.
That's true.
There's more women more concerned with a bundle than finding somebody who could provide that bundle.
Do you understand?
They don't want to share who they really are with a man. Or they're scared to. And that goes for men too. They're scared to really show women who they are because of how society makes them feel.
Yes, keep going.
Society is always pushing men, like you said, to be, don't cry when you hurt yourself and don't do this and don't do that. And they're teaching women, they're raising a bunch of dykes. Even if you're not gay, you still have that attitude, that mentality of a butch woman. That's why you got people like other gay men that say they like doing it to regular butch women nowadays. You know, they're out there. These men that like to cross dress want a woman that likes to cross dress, and they becoming couples, and that's sick society. So you got kids raised like that.
I think that as parents, as people, we all have to come together. You know, back in the day, if you goofed off, your neighbor would say, I had to tell Johnny, to sit down and you were on your way or whatever. They would step up to the bat. Now, if another parent steps into your parental guidance, you're cussing them out or you're on the kid's side, period. Don't tell me nothing about my kid.
Don't tell me how to raise my child.
So at the end of the day, I think that we need to come to a place where we take be a village again. You know what I'm saying? Each one teach one. You know what I'm saying? So just because little Johnny doesn't have a daddy doesn't mean his uncle can't pick him up and go to the game with him and be that father figure. Like, we need to take time to be step out of our comfort zone and reach out to our young brother, our young sister, because the role models they don't have. And then if the mother's raising a house full of boys, what is he looking at? He's looking at how she does things. He's not getting some of the manly things he needs. Not to say he's not getting that at school or this and that, but it's not in the home. And I feel like since it's not in the home, I think we as a collective need to step into the home and say, hey, let's help this child this way, that way. And then this way we can bridge the gap.
And Sarah?
There's quite a few people like myself at my age that don't have any children and now are, I haven't say I've shut it all out, but because of how the world is going on now and how children are in society and how it's really hard for them, it's like we're opting out. You know, opting out of not even wanting to have children and help the children that are already here.
But it makes sense for why you're opting out. Because you don't have a blueprint.
Yeah.
We had a blueprint for our generation.
Right.
Yeah.
It might not have been a perfect blueprint,
Right.
but it was a blueprint nonetheless.
We had something.
Right.
We had something.
An idea.
Like, for instance, my mother was nowhere near perfect. She was damaged. But she still had somewhat of a blueprint. She still had the wherewithal to say, even through my damage, let's have devotion.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's open this Bible and let's pick a verse and let's talk about it and use that as the vehicle to talk about what's happening in this house.
See, and that's a beautiful thing. My mom didn't do that for us, but she made us do it. Like, we had Bible study, but I think we would have gotten more out of it. My brothers probably wouldn't have been spending as much time in and out of jail had she sat in those meetings with us instead of making us do Bible study while she go out and chase her hit. She looking for a rock to smoke while we doing Bible study.
Right.
So you're not going to get the same thing. We not taking this shit serious because she ain't taking it serious.
Right. But then as you gotten older, I know you understood that wasn't my mother.
Yeah,
That was my mother under the influence.
Yeah, that was that spirit on her.
Right. And then there's a sickness associated with addiction.
Yeah.
But see, as a child, you don't understand that.
No.
And you model what appears to you to be indifference. She don't really care. She cares about going out here getting what she needs to function.
Right. But we got to have Bible study. So my thing was, how come I can't go nowhere on a Saturday night and got to sit in here with these lames and you out?
Right.
But I knew the rules, though.
Right.
Stay your ass, don't go off that motherfucking porch.
Well,
After Bible
and that was a
study.
beautiful thing about my mother, too. She never drank. She never smoked. She didn't do any drugs.
Oh, wow. She was
That's
good.
my
She
mom.
didn't do any of that.
My mom didn't do any of that.
So I modeled that from her.
Hot egg.
Shoot, my mama puff passing probably right now. No, I'm just
Oh,
playing.
Lord. Lord have mercy.
My mom
Jesus.
devoted herself to me and my sisters, though. My mom didn't have a boyfriend that we saw. I never saw my mom. And my mom had to go through, as us being kids, people calling her a bulldagger, because, a long time ago. So people calling my mama one, because they never saw her, because she worked all the time trying to support us.
I understand that.
And you wasn't supposed to see it, though. See, that's the difference between them times and these times. My son didn't know I was getting dick. It wasn't his business.
Right.
Late at night, your ass better be asleep. And that's how come he had respect for me as a woman. He didn't need to know what I was doing. Because you're not going to ever be able to look me in my eye and say, you tramp, or none of that.
Right.
Because you didn't know nothing.
Or you had all these dudes running in
Yeah,
and out.
you would never
There was
know.
a conscientiousness
Right.
about what you were doing in your personal life, and you kept your personal life separate from your parental life.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
as to where my parents did not do that.
I like that.
They put it in my face, and I better not say shit.
So
Yeah.
how do we become more compatible?
Honesty.
But nowadays, honesty is a bad word. You can't say the truth about what's happening, or you being abusive or disrespectful, or you're attacking women. There's really no bastion for men to just really speak the way they want to speak. Because if we speak the way we really want to speak as men, I remember Big Mama when I was, hush your mouth, you being mannish. Right? But she understood that's what he is. She wasn't trying to change me.
Right.
She would say, in this house, you want to talk like that, you go out here.
Get a job, nigga.
But no, she'll tell you to go out.
Uh-huh.
She wouldn't say, don't be you.
Oh, okay.
Right.
You not, but you ain't gonna do that in here.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, you can do that somewhere else.
Go outside my house.
She didn't say something's wrong with you for being the way you are. She never said that. What she said was, you gonna respect my house. So whoever I was that was deemed by her to be disrespectful, she set the boundary in place.
Right.
So when I'm there, I can't be disrespecting her house.
Right.
You knew the rules in her house.
And when I followed the rules of her house, I got some boiled chicken
Yeah.
and some tomato soup and crackers in there, baby.
Made you a cake
That's
too.
right.
Go on in there and eat. Just leave a little for Goldie.
But see, you just outlined the answer to your own question. It starts at home. And unfortunately, this society of millennials that we have that are young adults right now have not experienced any of that. So how they're going to come to a place is by people like me, you, Mimi, the aunties, the VOR, mansions, shows like that. And they'll give some, all we can do is try to give them some kind of direction
So in order to get compatible, we first got to get honest
with each other.
with each other. Honesty equals hating in today's landscape.
Truth hurts,
We got to tell people to stop dating their fears.
right?
Yeah.
See, you think you're dating the opposite of your fear, when in actuality, you're manifesting your fear so that fear can be reconciled.
Right.
And the only way to stop dating your fears and to overcome the fear is to embrace the fact that it is a fear indeed.
Do I have a
Right.
fear of broke men?
Again. Again.
Stupid.
You have to educate, we have to become better educated on our place in society, on what we actually have to work with,
Right.
and then we have to turn that into a seed. And then we plant it into purpose.
That's all we can do.
Take that seed, plant it into purpose.
Right.
We have the power to overcome any circumstance. But what makes overcoming a particular circumstance so difficult is when we are delusional about where we really are.
Right.
That's the part right there.
A delusional, correct.
It's delusional to think you're going to find a super baller
Right.
to come and take care of you and all the shit you need done.
But in the back of your mind is a possibility.
Let me tell you why it's delusional. Because most men of power view women as objects. I didn't say all, I said most.
And that is so true.
Listen, I run the world. I'm a captain of industry. I'm gonna marry you and have you tell me what to do? No, you're like this computer. This computer holds the files to all of the things that I've been working on. And when I'm done with my computer, I come to you for the things you bring to me. That's most captains of industry. You mean to tell me I got the world in my hand and I'm gonna do what you tell me to? I'm talking about, in general, most captains of industry.
You are so true.
True.
Again, that's not using a woman or allowing a woman to be exactly what she's supposed to be in your life, which is a manifester, a magnet of things.
Right.
What you give her, she puts back out to you. Do you understand? If you're insecure, she's insecure.
Right.
Right.
If you're catty, she's catty. If you're weak, she's weak. If you're uncertain, she's uncertain.
True.
Do you understand?
And that is true. If a man is showing you his instability, all you can show him is yours.
That's we always say this relationship is a mirror. We always say this. And this is the example of that. If you want to change the contradictions, women being men, well, women are being men because they're buying into an anti-male philosophy,
Right.
right, called feminism.
They're pushing it so much on TV right now. It's really sick right now.
But it's also pushed in the home as well, though. You imagine when men have young girls, they tell them, hey, don't depend on a guy to do certain things, even though we say don't be this way. But on the flip side, parents tell their
Get
children,
your own, so you won't have to worry about a man doing it.
Exactly. So we're teaching them this, right? But yet, when they get older, they're misusing the information. So I think maybe when we give them the information that we're giving them, give them the other parts to it too, about love and stand down and integrity.
Again, love is an abstract.
Right.
Spirit is abstract. It's easy. God is religion and God and spirit. That's like an insurance contract.
Right.
That's like Geico, Mercury, Progressive.
We have to teach our
But
children.
then, no, let me finish this point. There are people out. Insurance is fear-based and future-based.
Okay.
In the event you get in an accident,
case shit.
in case, you got in case believers.
Right.
In God, in love, in spirituality. They're in case believers.
Yeah, in case Jesus is real.
And you know what? I'm gonna keep my options open in case I find somebody.
Right.
Do you understand?
Absolutely.
Where are the love development practices in your house?
Yeah.
Zero.
Where are? Did you hear that question? Who
Where are the love practices in your
in
house?
your house? Who in your house sat down and said, this is how you connect to God, which is connecting to love, which is connecting to fulfillment, which is connecting to meaning. This is how you do it.
Nobody.
Nobody.
That was done during your devotional time. That was done during
But even during devotion, they didn't know how to speak it.
Yeah.
Here's the topic again. The reason men and women are having such a hard time with dating is because we are not raising them to be compatible. And I'm not saying I agree with everything here, but the wording could be different. But just take the context of what's being said here. Parents raise girls to be severely independent, but also raise boys to be overly dependent on their mother. Parents are so strict with girls, but lenient with boys. You can't raise boys to want a feminine woman, to want a feminine woman. They wrote feminine women. You can't raise a boy to want a feminine woman, but then raise the girls to be masculine. You can't raise a woman to want a loyal man when you let the boys do irresponsible things and brush it off as them just being boys. There's a lack of consistency.
Right.
Right? Boys can be hoes.
That's okay though.
That's why you hear me say it's impossible for a man to be a hoe. Because getting sex for a man is par for the course for being a man.
Right.
We've already defined it as such. There is no badge of negativity.
Yeah, that's a pat on the back to me, and that's okay though. You
For
can
most
be a-
men, when we break up with a girl and she's like, it's over, we do like Ray J.
So
I hit it first.
Right.
It's okay. I've already been to your garden of heaven.
You know what?
right.
At least I was cast out of heaven. I was in it. and heaven was juicy.
You know what?
You know what?
And now I'm in other heavens.
You
know what?
Do you understand? I'm just, but do you, now I'm in another heaven. It's okay. I'm not butthurt about it. There are other juicy heavens.
I hear you turn pussy into sage.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For a woman, it's the opposite connotation. Mm-hmm. How many poles you've slid up and down?
You know what?
You're not a fireman. You should not be sliding up and down multiple poles. Even firemen are usually dispatched to one department. Mm-hmm. You're not bouncing over 37 departments in your careers. That's 37 poles.
Woo, that's a lot of poles.
There's some poles in this house.
You know what? Drop it, baby.
I'm just saying.
I came with her.
Do you want to heal the rift between men and women?
Yes.
The way to do it, both of us got to unball our fists, as Bobby says. Both of us have got to come to the table with a spiritual compass.
Some kind.
Right.
What I'm developing with a group of clinicians right now, the therapists and black ones and women, I'm developing a devotion, a family-based devotional curriculum that includes both the therapist and the shaman. Mm-hmm. And for whatever your family is, it could be the pastor or the imam or the babalao. But we're going to bring the two together.
A spiritual leader.
A spiritual base along with a clinical base that comes into the family and heals the trauma.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's
Starts
what we
the
need.
process of healing the trauma. I'm working on it right now.
And it's so funny, I said that. That was the first thing out of my mouth, too, is a group session.
Right.
And you already developing.
I'm on it.
So meet this.
I'm on it. I want y'all to understand, man, that.
Do I smell another book coming for the family?
Oh, absolutely. I have
That's
another
right.
book. Yes. I'm working on another book right now. The Shrouded Lighthouse. I'm working on something even bigger than that that incorporates what I just talked about.
That's
the
what I'm
devotional
talking about.
piece. We got to stop being selfish.
That's the number one thing.
We got to stop. Listen, man, I know YouTube is free, but y'all get mad when the videos get interrupted.
When the sound ain't right.
When the sound ain't right, y'all get mad. No, I'm just saying, y'all get mad when you ain't did a show. It's been a while since you did a show and blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. We got to support these forms of media more fervently.
Yeah, because YouTube been tripping lately.
And then what happens when YouTube changes the algorithm or when YouTube changes another rule and then something else happens? Remember, when I first got the Voice of Reason radio station, before I launched the radio station, I told people, I said, this station is going to have minimal profanity. Remember I told you guys this? It's going to have minimal profanity. Oh, why are you going to change? And then YouTube comes out a few months later, and now they're pushing minimal profanity. See, this ain't our platform.
Yeah, that's theirs.
But while we here, y'all got to support it.
Right.
Or you're going to be complaining when it's gone.
Yeah, because YouTube is snatching a lot of stuff down.
Do you understand what I'm saying? A lot of my videos have been taken down. This is why we're pushing everybody over to iStar. And iStar is going to be big. I don't want to tell you who just came on board in terms of investment. I can't really talk about that. Just know that it's a super big person, right? And they just come on board and they're going to take it to the next level. And I'm trying to get people to support that iStar movement now.
And it's free to join right now, right?
No, it's not. But it's cheap.
Yeah.
Is it $1.99?
And they waste
A month?
$1.99 on a damn Snapple or some Swishers to roll a blunt, so you can.
Why you be contributing to conversations you ain't got no knowledge of? And it's free right now. Who told you
No,
that?
I said, is it free? I
No,
asked
you
you.
didn't. You heard what she said. What she
I
said?
said it's
What she
free
say,
right
Mimi?
now,
What she say,
right?
Mimi?
It's
What she say,
free right
Mimi?
now, right?
See, I asked. That's
It's
the
not free.
question.
That's
No.
It's free right now.
It's
right?
$1.99 to sign
Okay,
up.
there you go.
God damn it.
$1.99.
And it's free to join right now, ain't it? That's why I be going back and forth with you. You
And that's
Scorpio.
why I asked the question so they can know
Wait
how
a
much
minute.
it costs.
You Scorpio. Big Mama was Scorpio.
And she should have whooped your ass and threw a rock right back at you. I'd
Let
have
me
knocked
tell you.
your ass out
Let me
the
tell you
tree.
what I said to Big Mama after I punched that little deaf boy on the porch.
You know what? Did you punch the deaf kid?
I punched him because he wasn't responding.
He couldn't hear you, Zoe.
He couldn't hear.
You know what?
So I'm across the street yelling at his ass. Hey, what you doing on my Big Mama's porch?
You know what? Get out of here.
Then you gonna go punch the
And he
deaf.
didn't respond. So I
No
got
wonder
over
they
there
pray for you.
and I punched the shit out of his ass. Bow! Big Mama was looking through the window.
As a scorpion.
She came outside and said, "What you hit this boy for?" I said, "He didn't answer me."
He didn't answer properly.
And then she said, "That boy deaf. He couldn't answer. He couldn't even hear you."
I know you felt like,
I didn't feel nothing. I was like,
Badass.
he should have felt me.
oh, he felt you all right.
And then I told her, I said, "You just worry about that dollar you owe me. That's what you worry about."
You know what? I'm done.
Big Mama said, "Wait right here. I'll be right back with your dollar."
She wouldn't have got a belt, huh?
I hopped over that gate and was gone.
Because I would have said, yeah, wait right there.
I said, "You wait right there. I'm going to go get your dollar."
In
I'll
fact,
be right
I'm going to
back.
get it off this tree and get these leaves off your dollar.
She used to call it Mr. Green.
The switch.
Man, let me tell you something, boy.
Because that's what my switch would have been.
When my Big Mama passed, and I write about this in my first book, The Rebirth of Seeds, because everything is spiritual. Everything comes back full circle, right? When she passed, I had like a premonition, you know. It was like a premonition. I was in my bookstore at the time. I had grown up. You know, after I threw rocks at her, I was banished. I couldn't come to any of her events or whatever. And I think I was like 11 at the time
When she banned you.
when I got banished. But around 14, I had gotten a job. I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school. I was playing basketball or whatever. And I was at a grocery store. I was a courtesy clerk. And I was bagging groceries, and I just hated being there, but I needed the money for school clothes. And it's
Yeah.
high school now. I can't
Can't be
wear
messing
the
up.
Tough Skins and the Buster Browns because I'm
Right.
cute at this time.
Yeah.
Right.
At this time, I got the little baby hair mustache. This nigga's cute than a motherfucker, boy.
He had to have a job.
I had that baby hair mustache. And when you get that baby hair mustache,
They be like, line it up.
oh Lord, that baby hair mustache,
And the green
man.
eyes. And the green eyes.
So I was cute. I had that Jerry curl, I had that Gumby.
Not the
That
girl.
boy was cold. I'm telling you, he was cold as ice.
Was you?
Oh, woo. You put it on the pillow or you had the bag covered
That
it
boy
up?
was cold as ice. I'm bagging groceries. I'm not even really paying attention. You know, I'm bagging the groceries. And one day I look up and I see this little lady. I don't pay no mind. I just keep bagging the groceries. And then the manager goes, take her shit to the car. She need help. Take her shit to the car. I'm still not really paying attention. I get all her bags together or whatnot, and I carry them shits to the car. When I get to the car, that's when it kind of dawned on me. Big Mama was 4'10". Big Mama was, she was little as hell. I got a picture of Big Mama. That ain't her.
That look like my great-grandmama.
Big Mama was little as hell. But when I got to that Cadillac, she was in a Coupe de Ville 79 mint green Cadillac with the white leather seats and the white top. Big Mama shit was cold, nigga.
White wall tires.
You all that.
Yeah, white wall tires.
I get to the damn car and I'm putting the shit in the car and then I look up and it's Big Mama.
You just noticed.
And she just noticed. She said, boy, that you? I said, yeah, Big Mama, that's me. She said, oh, I love you, I miss you, and you know, I'm so proud of you, man. You done turned out all right. You got a job up in here.
I know she was ready to do a cartwheel.
You know, she was excited to see that, you know. She was like, he coming into his shit. His man shit. She was excited. She was like, I be telling your mama you gonna go to jail, you gonna be dead. And you up here working.
That's right.
She got in her car, that little rock throwing motherfucking better.
No. She was different then.
Oh, okay.
She treated me different then.
After that.
She was like, because it had been like 3 years since she saw me. And
She missed you.
She missed me dearly because I was one of them little bright stars, you know.
Yeah, but she couldn't have you disrespecting.
She was like, this nigga wild though. But
yeah.
She missed me and you know, I started coming back around and, you know, and shit was cool. But when she died, I was a man. And I had owned a bookstore in Altadena.
I know she was proud of you then.
Oh, yeah. She would drive by from time to time.
Oh, that was cool.
You in here, boy? Yeah. You know, she celebratory of that. But, no, when I had the bookstore, she was older. She was much older. She wasn't driving like she was. My uncles and shit would come by and be like, this nigga, he just started a business off rip. This motherfucker don't have no business training, but this nigga just opened up a business and it's popping in this bitch. So my uncles, them motherfuckers was excited about it all. But one day I'm in my bookstore, and at the time, this is in the 90s, man, I had a bookstore called Droppin' Science.
I remember that Droppin' Science.
This shit was in Altadena. We sold books. We had an airbrush guy in there who airbrushed shirts. Remember the big airbrush thing? He would also airbrush people's car windows and, you know,
they hoods and
all
stuff.
that shit. He was dope as fuck. Then we sold apparel. We had the IB Black Man clothes. We had the Black College hoodies and, you know what I'm saying? We had all of that stuff. And then we also had a pager company.
Oh, y'all was
that was
regular
good, right?
swap meet out of there.
Yeah, we made it crack. And when I tell you,
Poppin'.
that little space in Altadena is as big as this room right here.
Wow.
I believe you.
And we owned an ATM machine. We had an ATM machine at a liquor store in Gardena. I was spearheading this whole thing. Wow. Man, I'm sitting in my shop. It's a quiet day. It's just me. Nobody's there. And something says, check on Big Mama.
Wow.
And I write about this in my first book, The Rebirth of Seeds. And I call Big Mama, and she sound good. I was like, hey, Big Mama, I'm just checking in on you. You all right? She said, boy, I'm okay. Everything all right? I said, cool. Someone told me to call you. And she feisty, you know, fucking Scorpios. Just feisty.
Yeah.
So,
What do you mean, ooh, huh?
so what was crazy was, before I get off the phone, she said, but I need you to do me a favor. And I said, oh, anything, Big Mama, what do you need? She said, boy, can you come down here and put this blanket on me?
Aww.
And I knew that ain't Big Mama. Something is wrong.
Right.
That's not Big Mama. Something wrong.
Right.
Come put a blanket on
Come
me.
put this blanket on me, baby. I said, something wrong with Big Mama. Let me get the fuck up and go down there and check on Big Mama. I go down there. I'm knocking on the motherfucking door for about an hour. And she on the other side of the door arguing with me. I'm knocking on the door. Open the door, Big Mama. She said, you open the door. I said, Big Mama, the door is locked. If the door is locked, you must have locked it. I said, what in the world is going on? Is she having a mental breakdown? What the fuck is happening?
Right.
Finally, she comes to the door. She looks to be about 50, 60 pounds.
Oh, she is little.
She's on a rocker. She looks to be about 50, 60 pounds. She's covered in feces.
Oh, the blood.
And I just started crying, and I just picked her up and put her in her bed and put the blanket on her like she asked for. And I was fucked up, man. It fucked me up. I tried to clean up a little bit, but I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah, that's hard.
But what's beautiful is another Scorpio in my life. She turns out to be a godmother of mine. She's been down with me for 25, 30 years. Her name is Kishar. I called Kishar. I said, Kishar, you gotta help me. Big Mama is in a bad way.
Right.
She goes down, sees Big Mama, bathes her, combs her hair, washes her hair, cleans up her entire house, cleans all her clothes, puts her robes on, and takes care of her basically for the next 2 weeks of her life.
That's awesome.
And over that 2-week period, she talked more shit about me than anybody else. And when I walked in, after Kishar was like, everything is straight, Big Mama's cool, I cooked for her, she eating, I'm here, I got her.
Right.
When I walk in, the first thing Big Mama says, who would have thought
You know what?
that the devil would be Big Mama's angel? Come here, baby.
That's awesome.
I was like, God damn.
But she called it like she saw it. Who would have thought this devilish little rock throwing motherfucker would have been my angel? Because she felt every rock you threw. I know that would have pissed me off as a Scorpio too.
Yeah,
like,
well,
you little
she
nigga.
loved me. You don't love me.
I do love you.
No, you don't.
But if you throw a rock at me,
I'll throw a rock at you tonight on the way out this
I would be
motherfucker.
leaving like this, y'all.
Let me just say I appreciate everybody, man, tuning into this show. I appreciate Sara for working the show. I appreciate,
Work it, girl.
of course, Peaches and Mimi for being a part of this show all
Thank you.
year long. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the new year. I'm looking forward to new opportunities. I'm looking forward to growing these channels.
Amen.
I'm looking forward to, presenting new projects and everything to you guys, man. I love y'all.
Awesome.
I seriously love you guys. I love the people. I love everybody on YouTube for supporting all of the things that I have done, books and things of that nature. I appreciate you all for just watching me grow up in front of y'all, watching me mature as a man, as a person, as a human being.
Right.
I just appreciate everybody for rocking with me. And I'm asking you guys to rock with me even further into the 2020 with all the new projects I got going. Please join my iStar page. I'm trying to get to 500 or more tonight. I think we're at like 430 or 440 or something like that. Thank you, Lamont Griffin. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everybody who already donated and supported this. But please, let's get everybody over to iStar. Go to iStar vids with a Z.com. Please, please, please support the iStar platform. I'm going to put all of these shows over there. I love y'all, and thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you guys. Deuces.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Deuces.
Happy New Year.
2020, baby.